Welcome back to part 2 of the Galactic Renegades server tour. In this part we're going to have a look at more of the player builds, so let's buckle in and get started. So the first base we're arriving at here is BSY, or Banana. Now this is a base and I don't know what here Banana's worked on and what he's scavenged, because we all know Banana loves to just scrap down and collect lots of ships in one area. So these look like ships that have been taken maybe from the original event. Some of them look like an Innic ship, that's the Innic colours there, the battle damage colours. And then over there is some sort of other Innic ship that's been cut down and turned into some sort of production hub. Very Banana style, but let's move on. Now our next stop is Adobe's Casino Station. And as you can tell from this wheel on the top, you can see exactly what game Adobe was trying to play here. So coming over here, we've got some docking pads for various different stations, so players could come up here and, you know, do whatever they need to do in terms of that. They can enter in. They've got this lovely statue on either side, loads of terminals representing various machines that there would be, bars, lounges, and then in the center as well there is the rotating hub. And the rotating hub, of course, comes with these little access ways that lead you up into the hub in the center, where there is another bar. But saying that, if you do come in here, like I'll just stand here with the seat, imagine having a few drinks, right, and you try and leave this place, you see that your ship's parked over there, but you come out and you end up over here. I know maybe they could reverse the table here and see what happens. Or perhaps you could actually use a space ball and play this as an actual table itself, the whole space station. Really cool idea though. However, let's move on. Now the next base belongs to one of our lovely moderators. This is the DKC faction, and they've decided to build themselves a lovely red outpost, or a red sort of docking station. So if I turn my lights on here, you can see that they've got 4 docking sort of holes. They've got additional ones here in case they decide to build a bigger ship. On top they've got their miners, they've got some small compact fighters, and a big rectangular drill there as well for getting the ore that they require. And docked within these hangars, they've got themselves a welding ship over here. Over here we've got a small compact fighters, really using a lot of them artillery turrets. Something I did forget to tell you is that this season we are using for both large and small grids a weapons sort of points limit. So think about it, every weapon costs a certain amount of points. There's so only so many weapons you can have, and it means you can prioritize having heavy firepower, or you can prioritize having more Gatling guns. So it's been a really interesting and cool thing to do. But you can see that this one's configured with a lot of heavy firepower out towards the front, with Gatlings on the top there. Anything just to change up play a little bit and see how players do. Now coming over here, we've got a little watching area, sort of bridge outlook, some processing and repairing in the refinery zone down there, and then this is all going to be sort of production that you can see through there. Going deeper down into the station, you can see that we're underneath now, and that is just cargo storage. So a really cool base there, DKC. Let's continue on. Right, so our next stop here is RSB. So RSB, as we know, is Cajun. Cajun loves building these interesting looking ships. And when I say interesting, I say it's interesting because you don't see this sort of construction. It's hard to say, like, this player has such a distinctive style that when you come and see their grids, you instantly know that it's a Cajun construction. So you can see it's just this sort of steampunk-esque, old-fashioned world brought into this, you know, futuristic tech, and it's just very different. It's really cool as well. Something I am a bit unhappy with him, is he here? Oh, he's here. I was going to say he's left his projector on and he's left the server, but there we go. They're working on that at the moment, and they're also working on this. This is different for Cajun. I've not seen something like this before. This is really cool. It's got these glowing things. It's got a hatch underneath as well. What's in this hatch? Oh wow, it's like a giant construction plant. This is really cool. This is quite different for Cajun as well. So this must be as like refining a mobile base hub that is connected up to the ship he's building. Look at the ship though. The ship's got turrets there as well. Look at them turrets. They look feisty. Some big cannons on there as well. Yeah, this thing is going to be scary. We've seen him build some sort of space ships gone wild, sort of ships. You know what I mean? It's a normal ship in space. It defies logic, but still a really cool idea. Let's continue on. Now our next stop is TNT, and TNT has some really cool ships again. Look at this. Now TNT had the lovely Sand Shark from the last season. But look at these. Look at the detailing that's gone into crafting some of these ships. It's beautiful. That one's got a cat picture up there. There's bridges. Let's just take a moment to actually have a look at this design with them blue accents to it. Really nice. Look at the weapons laid out on the top. There's just so much detail and curving going on. There's a piston connector going on there. And then in the center, we've got this centralized sort of production hub that I'm guessing. This is a really interesting paint job I'm seeing here in TNT. And we've got a miner over on this section. So some of the space stations are a little less space stations and more just production platforms. But there isn't anything to worry at the moment because the players, unless they enter the PvP area, they are relatively safe. Come and have a look at this ship as well. This one's got some really nice little coloured accents there to it. It's got more cat pictures, of course, on the side to keep the occupants happy. And then there's like a hangar bay or something going on here. Does it look like they've split this ship in half? It looks like they've split it in half, or they've tried to, maybe extend it or something. Oh no, maybe it's because they're printing it. Yeah, there's the printer there, so you can see the half section. I can't believe I didn't realise that. So it looks like it hasn't printed that section there, or something's gone wrong and they've got to print it out. Yeah, it looks like there's unwelded blocks up in here, so maybe they pulled out the printer a little bit too fast. But there we go, that is TNT's outpost. We've got another one over here, smaller ship with a railgun as well. Yeah, lovely outpost TNT. I really like the look of these ships, some nice colours that you're going with here as well. The next base we've moved on to is Von Ruger's, another one of our admin team. Now this base is really cool. It's quite simple, but just how the architecture of it has been laid out, it's really fascinating. Look at these columns that have been erected along the side here, and how it goes to this strange cube-like structure. What is this? Is this something from some sort of sci-fi universe that I don't recognise? Is this like a mini Borg cube? It looks really cool. What is this? It's got a door at the front. There's so much detail in the things. It's like a mini cube ship. You know, for a cube ship, that is what I like to see. Is it a cube ship? No, it's not a cube ship. It's just connected up there. Maybe it's some sort of command and control center for the rest of this hub there down below. So there's connection ports going up to the side. This brown and sort of rustic colour. Coming down underneath, there is some sort of fighter that looks like it's battered up. Perhaps it's undergoing some sort of maintenance down here. With some other utility ships. Is that a welding utility? What's that one? A small fighter of some kind? Or maybe it's a welder that said its welder's removed. Coming up into here, there is multiple stories. Wow. Look at this place. Ain't this cool? Let's go up to the next level. So each level's got detailing going on. You've got nice little sign-in going on down the side. You've got access through the walkways to the other sections. The docking bays here at the side here as well. Yeah, this is a really nice station. I love this room, this sort of foyer room in the middle. Yeah, you've got a cargo container there. So I'm guessing we've got like a production deck below. No, in Von Ruger. Oh, maybe we're not. Maybe it's just all compactly pressed in here. Yeah, so it's compacted in there. But this is a lovely base, Von. I can't wait to see what else you've got installed for it. It looks like you've got a bit more construction going on there as well. A really cool little outpost. Let's continue on. Now, this next stop is going to blow your mind. We've arrived at BHD, and BHD have created this amazing... I keep saying the word amazing, I know it, but that is how awesome this is. I'm losing my vocabulary because the detailing on this thing is so immense. There is so many little button panels and details. And to be honest, it just scares the hell out of me because these are all probably sucking out performance because for some reason Keen had put so much detail and, you know, sort of voxels and polygons in creating these blocks. But never mind, it's still working quite well on the server. So coming up to the front, we've got that ginormous ram there. We've got the artillery turrets at the front, so this is reinforced armour. Down the side, we've managed to really replicate that sort of look of this ship. Oh, is it called the RAF? Oh, look, it's called the RAF, and we've got this tower up at the top here as well. Wow, some of these builds on the server are just so impressive. Look at that. We've got a full banner there and like a little throne type deal. Let's continue looking around this interior. Yeah, this is cool. So the rest of his guts, or something sparking there. Maybe give a look at that battery when you get a chance. Coming around the back, we've got these sort of downward looking engines that I think are just for show in this case. We've got atmospheric and ion thrusters tucked in there as well to make it super functional. Coming around the back, look at that grid, isn't it great? Let's have a look inside here. So there's back into that main sort of throne chamber and back out the front there as well. Of course, all the weapons are stacked and there is things that you could say are in the way, but this is definitely one of them ships that has presence when it's put with others. Let's have a look at the station though as well. So as we come over to the docking port, you'll notice that there's a little hangar area where the control systems are. And then coming down below, we have ourselves like a little serving area, restroom. Wow, a little fish going on down here. There's a toilet. No, it leads out to space. Imagine that. You think there's toilets there. You hit the button, you get blasted out the airlock. So there's the main 3D printing room. So they've got me this round chamber around the 3D printer here, and then the 3D printer is there. And you can see that these have all been offset at an angle. I don't know if this is any advantage. You'd have to let me know in the comment section below, but I've not seen it done like this. Does this spread the welders out just a little bit further so they can cover more of an area perhaps? Well, let's have a look at that slit cylinder there. Yeah, that is gorgeous. Now our next stop is ASI, and ASI never disappoint. They've always got some really cool grids going on here. So in the center we've got the traditional color scheme of ASI on the actual station outpost itself. There's even this little cool control tower here, so you can watch what's going on in the printing arena that's below. So you can see the printers are located below the glass on this deck, and they are spinning and rotating, printing off whatever they want. And I'm guessing they've used this printer to print off all these ships here. Now, some of these ASI designs we've seen, but they have been upgraded and changed, and the main color scheme of all the ships has changed as well. I wonder why. Maybe could the blue and orange be confused perhaps for Innic ships, and they could become a target? Let us know, ASI, why you've changed this lime green color scheme on your vessels. But these are really nicely detailed ships, lots of going on, lots of exposed hydrogen, but also a lot of thrust capacity, so they can really be thrown around, and that's something I like to see. Now, coming over here, we've got another one with a slightly different weapon setup and configuration, so very cool indeed. And over here we have the crown of the ASI fleet. Well, I don't know if it's the crown, but it's definitely the carrier of their fleet, and you can see it is armed up with these remote turret small fighters. So these take the responsibility of targeting a little bit away from the actual pilot, so you can focus on using the Gatling guns, and you can deliver a lot of firepower. We've also got a different variant here at the back, with missile pods and Gatling guns down the centre. A bit chunkier. I really do like this carrier though, ASI. It's really nice. It's just a different sort of design. It gives players access to the fighters and also leaves them a bit exposed, but it does its job. It just seems like a tugboat, like a platform for getting them carriers to the action, and that's all you really need in some situations. Now, coming over here, we've got another larger, chunkier ship here, and I can't tell if this is the front or back. So this looks like the front. It's got an atmospheric setting as well by the look of it. Rocket launchers pointing there, all weapons pointing forward. So this is like a frontal broadside type ship where it's to deliver in maximum amount of firepower it can at the front, and I'm guessing at the back it's not got too much weapons. It's got a little turret there to keep you off the back, but it's also got a cool, look at this little interior with assault cannon turrets to kind of keep you out of here. But they are really nicely laid out, these ASI. Let's pull ourselves out of here and just have one final look. So there's also a little transport pod over to the side here as well in their traditional faction colours. What a lovely base. Look at all this detailing that's going on in there. The cargo pods, yeah, it makes them a bit more vulnerable, but it certainly does look beautiful, and there's not really that much of a risk since they're not in a PvP area with their base anyhow. So let's move on. Now our next stop is CVU. This is G's creation. Look at this thing. It looks like a giant icebreaker of a ship. You can imagine this ploughing through an ice asteroid field and breaking its way through. Look at that tip on there as well. Really cool. A little bit inspired by 40k, and it also feels more grounded to, you know, real life sorts of ship in there as well. It's got that cool looking tail section. That is a really nice looking ship. I really like the idea of that. Really unusual as well. On the top deck, they've got themselves a smaller sort of fighter. It looks like it was a welder or grinder, or maybe it's a sort of multi-tool ship where they attach the attachments on when they need them. Now, coming over here, this is where this base gets really interesting. It's all been built into this giant boulder that's crashed here on this moon. So there's different little buildings tucked inside here. So there's storage, the cargo, everything is tucked into one of these in this sort of facade. You can see the production cargo containers, and then even coming down here where there's these more cargo, additional cargo tucked in there, and it's just laid out on the side of this rock. It's another really unique design. Everyone went wild this season, and this is just the start. We've just only had 1 week on the server. We've got another 3 weeks to go. So what are they going to come up with next? There's also this red ship here as well. This one looks like it's a bit more of a cargo hauler or maybe a loot grabber. In fact, under there, under that red camo, is that the original starter ship for them? I think it might be. There's also drills up to the front there. So that original starter ship looks like G's converted it into a drill platform. So very, very cool indeed. Now, when you see unicorns, that means someone is back, and that is Unicorn. Unicorn is back on the server representing DBS. And you can see there is unicorns now flying about, and the conversations that people have about these are a right laugh, especially over the Init command comms when someone says, "I've just seen a unicorn fly past me," and everyone else laughs at him thinking he's imagining things. This are some very unique but still very deadly ships. These are, people underestimate these a lot, but inside here there's quite a competitive PvP design, and you can see how the weapons have been protected and guardian. So just because it's a pretty pink unicorn with like a little party hat on, you know, I wouldn't underestimate it. I wouldn't try going toe-to-toe with it unless you know what it's capable of. Now the rest of the base here, we've got the sort of cube production, and it's not too bad for a small faction. And this, of course, is their starter ship down below that they have formed a 3D printing system into to print off even more unicorns. But let's continue on. Now the next station and ships we arrived at is ION. So ION have been hard at work building and constructing another really unique series of both ships and construction. So this looks like it is their centralized hub. So inside here is all their production. You can hear it, production in a way. It's got a really cool sort of ball with defensive turrets around the perimeter to protect it. Their drill ship mounted to the side there that you can see, very cool. Then coming over here we have their larger ships that are docked. So let's try and work out which way up they are. That's the issue when I do tours in space. It's like, which way is up or down? I think that's the bottom of the ship. That could be the top of the ship. Oh, I don't know. I'm trying to look for any sign. No, there we go. Maybe we'll look inside quickly. Yeah, so that's the right way around that this ship goes. So you can see we've got more cats. More cats. I'm sure we saw some cats somewhere else. I'm sure we saw some cats over at TNT. So over here, ION, you can see that the ships have been expanded across. It could possibly be because TNT are an absolutely giant faction, and they couldn't build as many ships as they wanted to in one faction. So they've split to two so that they can make more ships and have more fun. But these look quite deadly, and they've got quite strong front ends there, so they look like they could take a bit of a ramming. The weapons themselves look well spread out, well concealed, and the paint job of that white definitely stands out against the backdrop. So thank you from a filming and camera point of view, but you know, if enemies are looking out for you, if Innick are trying to track you down, I don't know if white's the colour to pick in space. You'll have to let me know, guys, in the comment section below which colours you think work best to blend in or camo yourself in with a space background. Now the next base we arrived at is Mops, and Mops base this time is bloody amazing. This place has so much going on at it. Look at this giant ship with this giant fire door hangar going on here. And inside here, of course, I'm looking at the ships upside down again. I'm so sorry if I've got anyone's ship upside down in this. We've got a Mop hangar with 2 fighters stored inside there. So there you go, that's the top of the ship. That makes sense because the bridge would be on the top, not the bottom. But then some people put the bridge on the bottom. Railgun up to the front. We've got these large wedges, lots of firepower and docking ports, perhaps for fighters at the bottom. So this looks like it's possibly some sort of large Mop carrier. At the back, we've got the iron thrusters staggered out like that. Fantastic looking ship. Now coming over here, it looks like we've got another ship. Oh, they're not helping me, are they? Docking one ship one way up and one ship the other way up. So we've got this guy. Look at that. So he's got this cool Mop Steward of War. Very cool indeed. You've got the bridge, or the sort of fake bridge, down here. Let's have a quick look into the interior. Oh, so we've got quite a basic sort of layout. Got a thruster there just to incinerate if you walk the wrong way. And there we've got some more thrusters in the back there. So quite a cool little ship. It looks really nice from the outside, this one. We've got the lighting as well from the thrusters at the back. So if we turn that off, you see how it just kind of has presence on the screen, so to say. Let's have a look at the station itself here as well. We'll turn our light back on. So we've got a 3D printing tip at the end there. We've got a drill large grid down here. And then we've got the Mop station that, once again, is upside down. So we have to look at it from this way. Inside the Mop station, there's a giant disc with some command chairs. This definitely feels like something Raffletron would be doing, putting a dish up to the top and then sitting around it. Down below, they've got themselves some medical rooms, all protected behind glass, and some production as we get down to the bottom. So a real cool base there, Mop. Let's continue on. Oh, I forgot about the big solar panel. Yeah, look at that giant solar panel. It's so bright, it makes the whole rest of the base look darker, so as soon as I step away, the camera then relights up. Here as well, yeah, I missed a few bits. I don't want to be doing that. We've got 2 other ships that are docked there. And then coming over this side, we've got some more fighters that are docked here next to this solar panel as well. Look at this one. This one's got like a wingtip sort of design. And upside down once again, space. Space. The problems of recording space. It looks like we have 2 mini big ships. Oh, hang on. These look like angry bullets. I was going to say they look like mini big ships, but no, these look like angry bullets. Wow, they're a cool and fun design. Yeah, let's move on. There's a lot of real cool stuff here, Mop. Lots of exposed cargo out there, but luckily we're safe. We're in a non-PvP area, so nothing bad's going to happen unless Innick show up. Dun, dun, dun. Anyway, so that concludes the second part of the server tour. I really hope you've enjoyed this one. There's been so much to look at. I had to split it into 2 parts because uploading a 40-minute episode would just be insane. So 2 parts, lots of amazing builds. Thank you so much, community members, for getting stuck in and working so hard to make this community as amazing as it is. Anyway, I'd like to thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.